Welcome to the fourth of 8 videos from the Roman Army 2021 UofW lecture on appearance, identity, etc. In this fourth video, getting into more of, again, the depictions of soldiers and how we know about what they look like. I'm going to say a few things about Dura, Europos, which I've said a little bit about before, because the evidence there is so spectacular. Here's me disappearing, blah, blah, blah. So, the primary source for all wonderful things Dura Europos in terms of equipment is this excellent volume by Professor Simon James on the excavation Dura Europos. Not only is the discussion excellent and detailed, but it has like all sorts of drawings and so on of the town and all sorts of images from the remains, which I'll get to in a second. Of course, the next best thing, if you can go to Dura Europos, see the site, go to the Yale University Art Museum and see some of the finds on display, which I have not done, but hopefully I will someday once all this is over. Okay, so one of the best parts of all this is something I think I've shown you before, but it's this fresco, the Julius Terentius fresco from Dura Europos, so at least dates to 250, but probably made before the city was sacked. And this is one of our best later depictions of soldiers, one of the only like fresco-y type things we have. So here we have a whole bunch of soldiers, some of them wearing what look like, assuming these are soldiers, which, you know, tunics and armor and spears and so on, but they're also nimbate. They have the nimbus sort of halo around, so there might be a religious Christian connotation, but you can see the rest. They got tunics, okay. They have the cloaks. Remember, I said the cloak is a distinctive piece of clothing associated with soldiers. So too is the belt, and you can look here. They've all got distinctive belts, and then we have a standard bearer. You can see the shoes, another sort of typical part, and a bunch sort of fuzzy. Now this is a pretty good reproduction, but it gives you a hint of one of the great pieces of evidence we have for them here. We also have there are some graffiti from Dura Europos. Now, we don't always know, the graffiti doesn't say if it's for one particular group or another. Are these Persian soldiers or not? But there's a lot of graffiti, and it depicts, people in combat. Some of it includes a lot of cavalry. Now, the supposition that this isn't Roman cavalry, probably Persian cavalry, which at this stage was known for having units that had heavily armored horses and soldiers. There were Roman ones by this point too, but maybe not as many. Okay. Although one of the primary units there at Dura Europos were the Palmyrines. Okay. Here's one of the other more famous images from Dura Europos. This one is another graffito. It's of a cataphract clibinarius. There you can see the fully armored soldier with a cone hat, and he's got the lance, the contus or something, and then there's the fully armored horse as well. Possibly this is then a Persian one, although it's hard to say. Fortunately, they've also found at Dura Europos, this is me looking at the book, besides lots of evidence for different kinds of weapons, and you can even see in here too the representation of archery and all different figures. Some of them are mounted archers, which you can see there, and some of the weapons. And then there are also, there are spearheads and javelins, and then going the wrong way because I can't see. There's also some excellent evidence for the equipment and the armor worn by, and I'll make my face a bit bigger so I can show you from the book. We have the remains of the armor of some of the soldiers, okay? So here it's not just for soldiers, it's also for horses, and here you can see some of it plated and put on top of a horse many minutes ago. So really some spectacular finds, and a lot of it collected in this volume. There's a couple more pieces. Here is a close-up in this slide, pretty good image of some of the armor that's been, you can see some of the textiles combined with the metallic plates. And one other thing, of course, our best preserved shield. A part of a shield comes from Dura Europos. It's not unlike the scutum held by these guys, but it also, you can see all the intricate details, remaining illustrations. Where's my cursor? There it is. an eagle and possibly winged victories, and a lion, a bit crazed at the bottom. So it seems, although these Playmobil guys, they're all the same, and the popular image again is of uniformity. Some of the evidence to Europos and elsewhere, as I've been alluding, left some scope for some individuality, even if it's not for individual soldiers, at least maybe for subunits and so on. So so Dura Europos is an excellent collection of evidence for the military, what it looked like and what it wore, at least in this particular context, and reflecting changes that had been taking place.